Alrighty. Let's do it. Third series of the night. Apparently the gamers are very chill about the map order. So, if they are chill about it, then we're gonna play on some of those new maps. Because I like looking at them. Definitely a whole lot more than I like looking at King's Cove. And Neon Violet Square. Round 1 gets played on Talisman. Here we go.
Let's get it on.
Round 1. Fight!
Bottom left side. He has recently played. That didn't go too well for him in the ZVZ against Young Yakov. But he said he really wants to play Trigger. I personally don't really see why he would play Trigger. Because Trigger is doing mega good in all the online tournaments. And he's not doing all that hot. But I said, we'll give it another shot. Play some ZVT for us. Too many Protosses lately. Let's see what you're made out of. And if he has an amazing performance, then maybe we can eventually give him a shot against Trigger. This is Wayne. And in the top right side, we're looking at the main base of the man who's opening things up with a very quick eBay. This is Future, the American Terran. Always fun, always wild. Building an eBay in the natural of Wayne. And Wayne, who now started with a gas and a pool. Wayne and Trigger could be fun, and I know, but I just feel like right now Trigger is quite a bit better. You know, if I see enough, that gives me the feeling that Wayne can really put up a great fight against Trigger. But even if he's done like good against him in the past, I think right now that just wouldn't be that close. So right now Trigger is quite a bit better. Wayne has also not been active enough in a lot of the online tournaments. And on top of that, Protoss is obviously good and is doing good. And just seeing another trio Protoss victory is not what I'm aiming for on the Friday night. The Dana White of SC2. Dana is just financially a little better off. But other than that, yeah, mate, we have so much in common. Barracks and CC on the high ground as Wayne has just decided to take this base over here at the 9 o'clock position. Obviously a bit of an odd start here to this game on Talisman, where there is a little SCV worker path or drone worker path. It looks very weird, but workers can go through, other hero units cannot go through. Somebody is using the Korean announcer. That caught me off guard. Don't know what to expect of these two guys. I feel like it could really be just a fun, explosive series with a lot of battling. I don't think there will be a lot of downtime the moment that Stim is done. Because Future has always been very aggressive. He's even opening up 3 racks here, guys. What is this? eBay block into 3 racks. I think I kind of like it. It is weird, but I think I kind of like it. Yep. There's a little worker path. Drones, probes, and SCVs can go up and down. Other units cannot. Wow, it's another... What is this build, man? 4 racks. What? Who let him cook? We love you from Russia, Roddy. Yana Chichilitapor. The Yana Chichilitapor spirit is always within me. That is something that I have heard a lot of times in history on this channel. Alright, Wayne is first. Links make it to the other side of the map. Future seems to be a tiny bit concerned that this maybe could be like an early Baneling bust, because it was obviously a quick pull and a quick gas, but we know that's not the case. It's going to be maybe somewhat annoying to take control of the natural here. Orbital should be able to squash Zerglings now. I appreciate the passion, J Money, but leave the matchmaking up to me, mate. In your mind, you still have a good shot against me. Leave it up to me. Where's this Orbital going, guys? This Orbital is so far away. It's like the Orbital Scout to see if there are extra Zerglings or Banelings or something, but... Who is my John Jones? MaxPax, of course. I think Max is my John Jones. Or... Baneling Nest does go down now. I still think there is going to be a moment, obviously, where Future is going to have a lot of Marines, probably with Stim. And the best thing that Wayne can offer against that is Zerglings, Queens, and slow Banelings. Flying Orbital Scout, yeah? May seem random, but if it works, it works. The Overlord is going to go into the main. And I think at this point, Wayne should also realize, like, wait a minute. He had a barracks in the front. He's got 3 in the back. It's 4 freaking barracks. Yes, that is what it is. Circling count is very high. Like, this is always very annoying to play against, I think, as a Zerg. Or even against as a Protoss, I think it's annoying. Because you don't want to be stuck making a million very basic units. And then eventually, if the Terran doesn't trade out, you're like, well, now I'm kind of screwed. But if you don't make enough, you can straight up die against the first team. But Wayne is hopefully happy with the balance he found between making Lings, Banes and Drones. On creep, he should obviously be fine. Future throws down a scan. Sees that the link count is very high. Sees that the Baneling count is there too. Can't let himself get surrounded. Ooh, here we go. Okay, how are we gonna do this? How are we going to do this? How are we gonna get the boys home? How do we get the boys home? This is awkward. We are waiting with the stim. There we do go for the stim, but here is the links around. He's gonna try to turn around, snipe the veins. Snipes a lot of the banelings, but the link count in the end is just a little bit too high. But as long as Future can just make sure that he's got okay. That was mega close. Really had to raise the depot. 4 Marines were very unlucky. Somehow this guy survived. Don't ask me how he did that. Player home says the natural falls. Nah. I mean, is there a world where Wayne makes a bunch of banelings here and he sends it? Yeah, it's possible, but it's also risky. Because if you then don't get what you're hoping for, it's always, you know, mega big investment and you're basically digging your own grave. American Terran player Future is gonna drop a command center in his natural. A lot of debris here. Looks weird. Why not just one big debris? Why a million tiny debris that share HP? Looks odd. 4th base going up for Wayne in the top left. Apparently not interested in trying to get his hands quickly on this gold. Patches moment. Did Patches make this map? So how much HP do these rocks have? I think it's just regular 2k now. Thank you to I Has Burrito for the 38 months, man. I appreciate it. Wayne setting up a potential link runway, but there is no base here to get on top yet. Needs to make sure that he leaves some of his units at home, and he is doing that. I think it's very playable, yeah. I think it's playable for both of them. Maybe I'll give Wayne a slight lead, but if Future has one successful drop where he snipes the queen and 10 drones, I like the game for him. I absolutely think this game is more than playable. First few drones are gonna fall, queen will fall, and I said 10, well, it might be very close to 10. Yep. Make it 9. Snipes a couple banelings as well. Really good drop. I don't know about unloading again. Don't know about unloading the 3rd time. Upgrades are not bad for Rain, obviously. It's annoying when those medevacs are still here. Future could decide to unload one last time, and he's gonna do it. This time the link count is a little bit lower. A lot of potential little fights happening right now. He really did want to the 10th. It's like, if I know my Roddy, he called for 10 workers here. Sending out a bunch of empty medevacs. Not sure if that is a fake or just a misrally, but they're there. Wayne now takes a look at this base and he's like, you know what, that would actually be a very nice base to have. Bunch of gold minerals, these lings are gonna get picked off. I'm starting to like this game more and more for Future, to be honest. Oh, that is a kill. Well, I already liked it before the kill. I like it a whole lot more after the kill. Joseph Newgarden, as I like to call him, is kind of cooking over here. He's just finding a lot of victories. Another fake medevac. Oh, that's a shame. That is the first thing that really goes wrong. Do we have an answer for the link backstab? Yes, we do. It's 97 Zerglings for Wayne and 20 Banelings. With speed, should be able to take a good fight in the center of the map. Doesn't really get the tanks too quick though. Gets one of them and eventually gets the second. Honestly, I'm not loving this for Wayne. Getting the tanks is very nice, don't get me wrong, but What is up with all these medevacs, by the way, man? These medevacs just keep going mega deep. Infestation pit is going to be late. If we ever get a Hydra, then it's very late. I feel like if you play the pure Link Bane style, you really need to be swarming, right? You need to be one with the swarm. You need to be all over the place. You're the one who's finding damage on the other side of the map. And that is not what's happening at all. And this is obviously a little bit better as he grabs a few SCVs, but... It's Wayne Reynor, and if so, why does anyone consider this a good match? Sure is a top 5. Oh, it's not... Wayne is not Reynor. Honestly, Wayne against Future or Reynor against Future wouldn't even be bad. Sure, Reynor obviously big favorite, but it'd be fun. I don't know why this would be Reynor against Future. It really doesn't say anywhere that Reynor is playing Future tonight. Be a fun TVT, couple banes. Tiny connection. I'm very worried for Wayne. He's got 128 Zerglings, and that may sound cool and all, but I don't know if just Lings are going to cut it. Wouldn't hate a couple Widow Mines on the side of Future, to be completely honest. I feel like against this style, mines are always so goated. I said Reynor earlier, well, Reynor plays like this. Sometimes. Wayne just feels so stuck to me. And obviously if he takes a god tier fight here with all the Lings and the Banes, maybe it's gonna be okay, but if it's not an amazing fight, he really is in trouble. It's a pretty damn good fight to begin with. He gets 12 of the SCVs as well, denies the 4th place from becoming a planetary. Perhaps as good as Wayne could have hoped for. And I still don't think it's really putting him in the lead. Especially, you know, with those 3-3 upgrades on the way for Future. It's just looking better and better. But making this game hectic is nice. Losing 22 drones on the other side of the map is not nice. And the final Lynx won't cut it. The American Terran player. Joseph Newgarden takes the 1-0 lead. Oh, it's just played well. It was weird with the eBay block into the 4x follow-up, but just kind of feel like he played very well. Took a lot of good fights, good trades. Can be proud of that one. Good map for Zerg. I don't know too much about like what race is good for on any of these 3 new maps, because obviously I haven't seen a crazy amount of games on these maps. But I hope for Wayne that this is not the best Zerg map out there, because if it is, he's in trouble tonight. I think to make Ling Bane style like this work, it's just like I said, you really need to be everywhere. You need to have clean defense, you need to have a big worker lead, you need to be on top of SCVs over and over again. It can be you just chasing around medevacs, trying to keep your drones alive. And that will just not go your way. 10 more zombies! Vamos, we'll take that. Game 2 will be played on the Frostline. Game 3 we'll do in Europe. And then game 4 and 5 will be on NA again. That is what we originally settled for. Map doesn't look that bad for Terran. I don't know enough about it. I think technically there's a lot of good tank spots, and I can see how you can have fun with medevacs. Don't think it's a god tier Zerg map. Not sure if it's Terran favorite either. Haven't seen enough, haven't spoken to pro gamers about it. So I stay away from making those kind of statements. But the thing is, even the pro gamers are hard to trust. Ever since Clem showed up in this channel and they tried to tell us that Ghost River wasn't all that for Terran, I've kind of lost my faith in the pro gamer. If you can't even trust Clem anymore, guys, who can you trust?
Round 2, fight!
Bottom left side of a Frostline, we are looking at the main base of our Russian Zerg. Down 0-1, can he start turning things around? Last time in the BBB it didn't go his way. Let's hope tonight goes better. This is Wayne. Versus Roddy. I was not all in, mate. J-Money, just because you don't have any units doesn't mean I'm all in. This means that you didn't know what you were doing. Top right side of Frost line, we are looking at the main base of Matcherino Esports. That's still the team that he is representing in future. Unfortunately, it did not go Fox's way earlier against Moja, but perhaps the second American Terran will be a little more lucky tonight. Clem said Ghost River wasn't that amazing against Protoss. Okay against Zerg, but not that great against Protoss. As I said, can't trust Clem. Who can you trust? I wouldn't know, guys, but it scares me. No funky eBay block, so I assume that we're not going to open up with 4 Rexes either here in the second game. Reynor versus HeroMarine will start as soon as this best of 5 is over. We'll take a couple minutes break, but then we'll hop into it. Nice to see that Reynor was enjoying some Starcraft tonight. Streaming, watching. Clem is just trying to trick us. Not falling for it. Maybe you could fool me on one of these new maps, but not on Ghost River. I've seen enough suffering on that map to stand my ground and not take his word. So a more standard opening to the second game. Let's see if Wayne has clean defense against this first Reaper. I want to say it seems to be pretty good. Ooh, that was close, but it is good. Creep tower might get sniped here, but no, it's a little bit too difficult. With the Lynx right on top of the Reaper and the Queen obviously nearby, Future did not want to take the risk. A Friday whiskey night to join me? I've got no whiskey in the house, so it's very tough. Unless somebody can provide an emergency delivery, that's going to be very tough. But if you're having one, mate, I wish you all the fun. Good luck, enjoy it. I hope it's good. Pick a nice one. You can deliver one. Well, unless Reynor and HeroMarine have the banger of the century, I don't think it's going to be in time. Two Hellions are out. Hellion number 3 and 4 on the production tab. Viking is going to be the first unit coming out of Starport. It's a tiny bit surprising. A little too far away from Twente, yeah. You'd have to drive really fast then. Normally we are busy until like 10:15 on the Friday, and then most of the time it's done. I assume that tonight is obviously going to be a little bit longer. When you select TVTs and TVZs, it's really hard to guess how long the series will go, but I'm obviously always hoping for slightly longer games than a bunch of 3-0s that are over in 22 minutes. That is not what I'm aiming for. What is the best Friday night whiskey? I don't think there is one whiskey that is particularly the greatest on the Friday night. I think you should find what you like and enjoy it. As long as you're at the age of drinking and you're okay with it, of course. For me, it'd just be Woodford Reserve. But that doesn't make it special for the Friday night. Any night is good for that one. Hellions get a couple of shots off. Reaper throws down a grenade. Wayne get the surround here. Doesn't have crazy amount of Zerglings, so if he gets it, that would actually be a great victory, but it's kind of lacking the numbers. What did the Viking manage to do? 2 Overlord kills already. It's actually quite good. Nine roaches, guys, on the production tab. Why are we building 9 roaches? Is Wayne gonna create a little bit of a German autobahn here and just keep rallying everything that he can possibly produce to the other side of the map? If Future doesn't scout it, doesn't have a bunker, this could hurt. But if the American Terran can just catch a little glimpse of what Wayne is up to here, I feel like he might be okay. I wouldn't hate like a Liberator or even an extra Viking that you can land. The last thing you want to do is send out your orbital. We need bunkers, guys. What we truly really need here for future is bunkers. He sees lings and roaches. The tank is in trouble. Can the tank get surrounded by the Zerglings? It is close, but it lives for now. I do love the mass SCV pool immediately. SCVs can be pretty good against roaches. Repair that tank and siege up that tank. And then I want to say I think future is quite fine. Obviously, if Ravager counts go up, it becomes a lot easier for Zergs to snipe the tanks. Can repair the Viking as well. I like the idea of creating a bit of a body block with the SCVs. Zerglings will prevent this base from landing, but second tank is out right now. I don't know about this for Wayne. You're always really committed when you go for this as an opener. Ravager is going to try to get in range. We'll get one of the tanks rather quickly. I just don't think you're going to get the second one quick enough. Or really? Maybe he will, maybe he won't. 1-1 upgrades done for the Marine. Stim done, combat shield done. Gets both of them, but what does he have left after sniping those two tanks? 3 Ravagers and a Roach survive. He's going up to 4 bases. I'm not loving it, guys. I'm not loving it for Wayne. He has been building drones indeed for a tiny bit, but I just don't think it's enough. I think whenever you build this many units early on, you need a little bit more. Now with all the drones that he currently has on the production tab, if he can get that 70 something drone economy up and rolling for a little while, he might be okay. I feel like there is a world where Future can start finding some damage with his Marines. He's got the mobility advantage, he's got the DPS advantage, the speed advantage. Should always be able to find something other than an Overlord. We're derping a little bit trying to kill this Overlord, but he'll get there. Medevacs pick up a couple of Marines. There's a few Lings sneaking to the right side of the map. We're gonna unload these Marines. Oh, the Queens are gonna be so exposed. The Queens are so exposed, and once you kill the Queens, by the way, you can just continue dropping these units in between the natural third and fourth over and over again. I wouldn't hate killing the Spore Crawler here, by the way, just to get rid of it. Or get another Queen. And this is so rough for Wayne, guys. This is so freaking rough for the Russians because his units are still slow AF. Might kill one medevac here with the Spore Crawler. Future is gonna avoid it. Queen count now is at 2. And obviously this is like impossible to really deal with. These units will just take forever to rotate from the main base back to the fourth. Few Lings run on top of not 1 but 3 freaking tanks. At least 1-1 upgrade's about to be finished up for the Zerg, and he's got roach speed, so maybe he can take a good fight here, but I don't think it's ever going to be too hot. I think this is indeed the hell for the Zergs that they often talk about. The supply looks okay for the Zerg, but I think the supplies are very, very, very deceiving here. Unless Wayne can find a universe in which he can kill these tanks when they're on siege, but Future should obviously not allow that universe to be this one. Like, how are you going to deal with this? He's got 3-4 units in the main base. Spore Crawler is going to get picked off. We're going to lose the gases here, a couple drones. And then all the roaches have to rotate all the way back from the 4th base to the main. It's omega painful fights here for the Zerg. Things are not looking up for Wayne here. He's not even winning that fight, guys. 2-3 Marauders with 1-1 upgrades and a little bit of medevac support. Yeah, they can fight. They've got hands. Marines supporting a lot of DPS in the back. He has an answer for the drop at the 4th now, but this is all just kind of free damage. It is Future's world. Absolutely nothing bad is happening on his side of the map. Couple of Krasnodars kills the active Cryptomur as well. Things are not getting any better here for Wayne. So many freaking tanks. I think this game is just omega over. Wayne has slightly more supply, but he's about to get absolutely obliterated. His army is simply nowhere near good enough. I want to believe, and I'm hoping for Wayne that he can start turning things around, but it really is all future so far. There was definitely a time that a lot of people would have said this is not a competitive match and that this should be an easy victory for Wayne, but you know, Future was very eager to play in the Big Brain Bouts. Wayne wanted to play, but he hasn't been that active in other events, and I think it really shows. Some of these American Terran players, they really have gotten better, and as long as they stay active, Future has always been pretty good. He is kind of wiping the floor here with Wayne. There's no other way to put it. The Ravager count is quite high right now, and sometimes the Ravagers can hold the line a little while longer. But this is not a game that should ever go Wayne's way. Tanks are still here, extra units are showing up. Supplies are close. Firepower and potential of the armies, I want to say, are not that close. Now Wayne is trying to fire up Hive though. If Hive ever comes into play, he's allowed to dream. Some sexy hot pickups. I mean, it's all future, man. It really is kind of all future. Wayne made a lot of units early on and tried to surprise his opponent, catch him off guard. He found something, but he didn't find enough. MaxPax pick up the Marines and Marauders one more time as they're gonna start wailing away at these drones from the high ground. Now Wayne is forced to send all the units back into the main, and that's when the extra army shows up. And kind of feel like it's the same song and dance for the last 4 minutes, and it all started with sniping those queens. If the queens would have stayed alive a bit longer, Future can probably not pull off a lot of these moves. It would have been a lot more difficult to stay this active and obviously avoid those queens from gunning down his medevacs. But yeah, the moment that 3 queens die before the rest of the units start showing up, it is just all Future. Game 3. It is very impressive so far what Future is showing us. But then again, Moja also took a pretty convincing 2-0 lead, and that got us to Game 5. That series looked very different in the remaining games, so perhaps this one will also start looking different. Game 3 will be played on Europe, but Game 4 and 5, if we need it, if we get there, will be played on NA. Hello, Jim. The Cheesy Delphia champ making you proud. America, guys. It's good showing today by the American players. Can't say anything about it. I'm trying to find our gamers. Vanya, Wayne, RotterdaM. The boys in trouble. Under any nickname right now, he is literally in trouble. Yeah, it's tough. I'm surprised too. I'm not surprised that it would be close. That like in the past, as I said, this would obviously be a series that is heavily favored for Wayne or Vanya. I didn't think it was going to be heavily favored tonight for anyone. I did think it was going to be a lot closer than it once upon a time would have been. Did not think it would be this quote-unquote easy for Future, but perhaps European server, a little bit of European magic in Game 3. We can switch things up and we can make it happen. Overall, I just feel that, I mean, 2024 wasn't quite the year of Wayne, and I've seen very, very little in 2025 that makes me feel like it's suddenly going to be all different. Obviously, I hope for him that he can start turning things around, or maybe that he finds slightly more joy, I don't know, but it's just, stop, like, I mean, you're no longer signing up for a lot of the events, whether it's qualifiers for big events or it's weekly cups. If you're no longer doing that, it's obviously unlikely that when you do want to peak, you're suddenly going to start peaking. And these series are obviously really nice opportunities for anyone. Single best of 5, you get $100 if you win. And he's eager to play, but definitely not quite capable of pulling off the same magic as he did in the past. But perhaps Game 3 on the European server will be a whole lot better for him.
Round 3.
Fight!
Top left side of Whispers of Gold, starting things off with a spawning pool. Perhaps a tiny bit worried about a 2 racks or a 3 racks out of his opponent. This is Wayne, a Russian Zergy. And in the bottom right side of Whispers of Gold, we are looking at the main base of The American Terran player going CC first even. Maybe reading his opponent like a book, thinking that he's probably expecting me to go for proxy 2x or 3x, so instead I'll go for all out greed. CC first is great here. This is future. Hello, Alex. Yeah, they had a fun series. It was painful, but it was fun. I had a good time. Some of those 3,000 something MMR matches really give us a lot of different looks at Starcraft. Makes us appreciate Starcraft in a completely different way. I think CC first is an absolutely great call. I really, really like it. Especially with the reputation that Future has, and maybe Wayne obviously is aware of that reputation and also thinks like, this is just a one-off game on Europe. He's up to 0, so he may just try to end it with a very greedy proxy 2x, 3x. And instead we go for CC first, which is just perfect, man. It's just really, really, really perfect. Well done. Excellent choice. Big. If I was Wayne now, I would have already been a bit unhappy loading into game 3, obviously being down 0-2, and especially the way that he went down 0-2. Like, sometimes you have these best of 5s that are incredibly close, and there are so many moments where if just one more thing would have gone your way, it would have been your game, right? I didn't have that feeling too often in game 1 and game 2. There were not many moments that I looked at any point in the game where I was like, oh man, Future just got lucky there, because if that would have gone a bit worse, then he would have been dead, or this goes worse, he's dead. This kind of feels that the games have been relatively easy and smooth sailing for Future. Wayne really does need to step it up, not just like one level, but multiple levels if he wants to make this a competitive series. But hey, we have already had 2 best of 5s going to distance. Not every single series, I guess, can go to distance. Will Reynor play Zerg all games? Yes, he should. It should be Zerg. Maybe he will surprise us with a Terran, but Protoss is banned. No Protoss tonight. I want to make sure that Big Gabe also has a fun time. And since Gabe doesn't seem to be really enjoying playing TVP, no Protoss. Only ZVT and TVT. Did I miss the main event? How would you miss the main event, Nate? Tell me. Or you mean Erniak against Jacob? Because for some, that was the main event. And it was a banger. So a beautiful, painful Starcraft was played and showed to the world. I mean, for a lot of people, Foxa was the main event. Because Matty Eyes is very beloved. For all the right reasons. It's a bit of an America night tonight. The only thing that's missing is I won't say Nate, but is Reynor moving to America. And we had a proper American BBB. Carapace with +1 is in the end here the opening for Wayne as he's firing up 24 Zerglings. Obviously it takes a little while before things get going here for Future since he went command center first on the low ground. He even has a safety bunker. He's really playing this like he's the favorite here, right? USA #1. I mean, Air almost got it. Foxer almost got it. One of the Americans got to win tonight. Things look very good here for Future. It'd be a well-deserved victory. He's playing well. But let's see if Wayne can turn things around on the European server. He obviously didn't have a build order advantage with the way that things shaped up in the beginning. That pull first, later expand against the CC first. But outside of that, you know, this is playable. He's got a very good idea of what his opponent is up to. We've got Lynx out. That Overlord even saw that bunker as well, so I guess that's a very tiny little mental victory. Where his opponent made a bunker that they didn't need. It's an all-Italian main event, guys. Never forget that Gabe did represent Italy at the Olympic Starcraft event in 2018. The one that Scarlett won. There's a lot of links looking for a counter. Is this the moment where... Oh, he's actually gonna get a couple banelings as well. He just wants to make sure he gets in. And you know what? I don't really hate it. Future throws down a scan, picks off a creep tumor. The lynx can just walk in, by the way. So that actually means that you can keep the banelings alive. And then the banelings can get some connections on the LCVs. Nice hot pickup by Matty Eyes. Well, not Matty Eyes, by Future once more. It's actually a great save on that tank, guys. Sweet baby Jesus, what a save. Now, there is a little fight happening in the center of the map. Wayne is finding damage. Now, he needs to find damage when you run in with this many Zerglings and banelings, but definitely quite good. Is it Omega good? Can we start celebrating a game 4? I don't know about that. Surprised that Future didn't raise the depots there, but maybe feels that he's got nothing to worry about when he's got this many Marines. But hey. For the first time in this best of 5, we can safely say that Wayne kind of gets what he's looking for. Gets some SCVs, gets his opponent to pull all the units back, gets one tank in the center of the map. Oh, he actually got 2 tanks in total in the center. Almost got this one as well. Scan goes down, but the Marine count is very high. Baneling speed is only halfway done, and slow Banelings have a hard time connecting against the Marines of world-class Terrans. Now we are obviously looking at an American Terran on the European server, but so far some decent snipes, very good snipes even on these Banes. One Baneling, one slow Bane. Gets a little connection there. Wayne still has 26 links. More links active on the other side of the map. And they're not just in the natural, guys. There are Zerglings in the main base as well. These Marines have done a great job, but are eventually going to run out of steam. And it is really Wayne who is just continuing to find damage in the natural of his opponent on the other side of the map. I don't know if it's enough to really make one hell of a best of 5 out of this, but it is enough to send us to game 4. Wayne wins on Whispers of Gold. Off the back of not 1, but 2 good Zergling run-bys. Well done, Wayne. So we go back to America for game 4. Solid. Good performance. A little bit of the Wayne class that we have seen so often in the past, that I'm obviously hoping to see a little more from him. You smell another game 5. I'd be very happy. I feel like there has been 1 week in these 84 weeks, or maybe once or twice, that every series went 3-2. We've had quite a few evenings where 3 out of the 4 best of 5s went 3-2, but there was always, I think, 1 that ruined it. Maybe 1 or 2 absolute perfect nights. The dream is alive. All right. Let's hope that's the case, matey. Round 4.
Round 4. Fight.
This man went for the pool for his last game and did not get rewarded for that, but still turned it into a victory. But that was on the European server. We are back on NA because that was the initial agreement. We're looking at the main base. Oh, a Russian Zerg, Wayne. And this time, guys, we are going from CC first to the boys leaving town in the top right side. The American Terran player trying to get their first of 3 Americans. To get a W on the board tonight. It is Matcherino Esports Future. Another pool first though by Wayne, so this should help Wayne a little. Wayne went pool first in game 3, goes pool first in game 4. The second Overlord is probably going to eventually see it. Just because you have pool before hatch doesn't mean it's a free win, but it should really make your life a whole lot easier. Earlier Zerglings, earlier Queens. Should help. Starting to believe that the perfect night at the office is possible. Got a gas on the way. Unfortunately for Wayne, the only downside of all of this is that obviously the Overlord has not gone deeper. And at this point, we don't know. Not knowing is bad, but he is making Zerglings immediately, so that's good. We've got a Queen on the way, Zerglings on the way. Let's just go ahead and follow, guys, the camera of Wayne for a little bit. Right here, this is the vision of Wayne. What is very important is that he doesn't build any drones. He sees the SCVs coming in right now, and he hasn't built any drones yet, so he's going to drop a roach one immediately. Looks very, very good. Now, Future does have a gas coming up at home, so he's not like ultra all in, but if you ever open up Proxy 2 racks, you want to get something done. And I'm afraid he's not going to get a whole lot done here. And the roach is just going to come out very, very quickly. 3 slow Zerglings and a Queen leading the charge. First SCV gets sniped. There's one more full HP SCV coming in. Can this SCV be the hero then? I guess at least the bunker will finish up. That's actually quite nice. Don't lose your Overlord. Definitely don't lose a Queen. Under no circumstance are you allowed to lose a Queen. Wayne's defense has actually been a bit messy. I think instead of building that roach one as quickly as he did, it may have been better to just build a lot of Zerglings. I feel like that would have been a better choice. Honestly, I believe that he would have just been able to hold without this happening. Now the bunker is up, a backup bunker is coming online. One of the Queens is low on HP. There is this little area, guys. An Overlord gets sniped as well. It's quite painful. Don't lose your Queen, mate. You've got 50 energy. Roaches snipe one of the SCVs, snipe another SCV, so repair is not available. It's a little bit sloppy. Great job with the Roaches, bad job with the Queen. And the Zerglings get something done here. Not a whole lot, but they can be annoying. And obviously there is 0 DPS on the other side of that wall. Bunker dies. I will say it still looks very good for Wayne. Especially because Future is now building a Hellion for us, guys, on the other side of the map. Run them roaches to the top right and see what they can get done. Marines walk into the Zerglings. One Marine went down and that is it in the end. I wouldn't hate it if the roaches continue to set pursuit, but they turn around instead. That's fine as well. Obviously a much quicker expand. This command center only halfway done. Wayne can probably just go up to 3 bases. I wouldn't hate it if he just goes back to like a Zergling base style, even if he already has roaches out right now. And a roach one. You can just use those for safety. And I feel that Wayne is a better Link Bane player than he is a roach player. Serral makes the roaches look quite good in this matchup, but there can be only one. There is only one GOAT. Not sure if Reynor against Gabe has 5-game series written all over it, but what a night, guys. A little bit of everything, some unique matchups, a severe lack of Protoss. We're getting some pretty close and competitive gaming, and just like that Moja Fox's series where Moja looked like he was just the better player in the first 2 games, Fox really stepped it up in Game 3 and Game 4. And Wayne is just starting to really put the pieces together here as well. Has played a lot cleaner and a lot better in Game 2 and Game 3. Or Game 3 and Game 4, excuse me. Does lose an Overlord here. Did obviously make a mistake losing that Queen. That was not totally needed. And those are pretty large errors since Queens are very expensive these days. I don't understand what's so important. Nothing, fortunately. He is gonna go down the roach route. I don't know if that's because he already had the roach one and or he felt like he was forced. Never even seen this, by the way, this weird little thingy coming. That's the drone in the middle. It's dirty. Don't like it. But it's obviously fine. Feel like at this point, Wayne is able to play whatever style that he really feels is best for Amygdala, given the current situation against Future. He believes in the roaches, so be it. Drops an early infestation pit as well, so might want to build a couple roaches just to stabilize and have an answer. Now there's a bench showing up as well. I don't know if I like the Queens being this far off grid. They drop some transfuse. What I don't get, right? At first we don't have any units. Now he's building 5 more roaches, and I feel like he doesn't really need them anymore. That was just for Marines. It would have been so much better if Wayne would have actually taken advantage of the fact that he had that natural a whole lot quicker and would have just pumped out a few more drones. I feel like economically the game is now not looking the way it should be looking. The hive is damn quick. 7-minute hive for a game where he got proxy 2-racks is pretty amazing. I was feeling very hopeful. Now I'm starting to get a bit worried for Wayne. Not sure what the Marines are doing here. They're pretty derpy. He is sneaking out a single infestor. Hive is obviously quick Vipers are going to be amazing. Because this is not the kind of game where Future will ever have Ghost out early. So if you can get just 2 Vipers early on, you're going to be absolutely loving life. Can obviously be for quick Ultras too. That's never bad because he already has Carapace. So even though he doesn't have Zergling speed yet. Lurk is down the line, but we don't have a Hydra then yet. But it's mostly Vipers. Vipers are just God tier against tanks. And then you can blinding cloud the tanks, abduct the tanks. Maybe a little fungal. Obviously we can't afford to lose this base. Wait now, supply block. 600 minerals in the bank. Don't love that. Things were looking pretty good for the Russian Zerg to potentially turn this into a 5-game series as well. But almost everything has gone wrong in the last 3 minutes. 7 overlords now on the way. He's making you laser proud. Fire up them Vipers. He drops the Ultralisk Cavern. Yeah, that makes sense to me. But I also really love to see some Vipers. To me, Vipers would just make perfect sense. Thank you, SKillous, for the Primate. Vamos. We'll take a Prime. A lot of extra roaches on the production tab. He does not have missile attacks. I don't understand why we just didn't. Maybe he feels he's got no time for Vipers, but look at the economy. 53 drones against 62 SCVs now. If Ultras make it to the battlefield and we get kindness plating, yeah, the Zerg will be flying for a little while. It's going to be very difficult for Future to have an answer for that, but I'm afraid for Wayne that he is going to be forced to take a fight here against 4 freaking things, and unfortunately we don't have Vipers. Does have a crap ton of Ravagers, lands a couple of Corrosive Balls, he's making his way through the bio. Is it good enough? Is it good enough? It is all very painful, and those final 2 tanks, they stuck around. They lived for so long. And another tank is showing up. The final few Marines are forced to go into the medevac. The Queen sniped that medevac with units inside of it. A mega close battle here. And perhaps in the end barely good enough for Wayne, but he's down 15 freaking workers. Lands Corrosive Bow and kills another medevac. That's good. Ultralisk Cavern is done. Kindness plating gets fired up immediately. That is what we need. A very close hold. Perhaps not the cleanest hold, but also impressive that in the end he got it against all those tanks. And the game just looks bad for Wayne now, though, to be fair. Future has 4 bases. He's gonna lend it, he's gonna morph it into a planetary. I wouldn't hate a scan of Future. Because I do think that Future is smart enough, is good enough to know that with the way that this game started off, it shouldn't be going that great for him. It should have been tougher to stabilize on 3 bases, to not take any damage, to not fight overwhelming amounts of roaches. So you should basically know something is on the way, something big, and maybe he's just already mentally preparing for Ultras, but I think if you know it's coming, you can obviously start getting some wall-offs. Make your a couple early Liberators would be a play against the Ravagers. The Ravagers are obviously scary against the Lips, but other than that, I think defensive Lib or 2 can make you buy some time to get Ghost out. Like, Wayne has a shot in this game as long as it's Ultralisk with Spellcaster support against pure Marine Marauder tank. He's got more than a shot. Then it doesn't matter that he's down a base. He could land a sick Fungal here. Wayne could land a Fungal. Lands an amazing Fungal. Man, that Ultra just disappeared. What the hell? That Ultra died so quick. I am shocked. It has kindness plating. It has +2 armor. That Ultra popped like it was nothing. I hope for Wayne that the next Ultras live a little while longer, because that was a bit underwhelming. Zergling speed almost done, +1 melee almost done. Here comes the Viper with Blinding Cloud. Lands a couple of really good Blinding Clouds to be fair, but yeah, that Ultra just dies too. Oh, I've never seen Ultras die so quick against mostly Marauders. Can the third Ultra be the hero then that we need? It is going to take some serious fire immediately. We're going to micro to the bottom. Hatchery is omega low on HP, but we need to save it. We really don't want to be a 3-base Zerg here. And that means that we're going to try to keep on battling, but the Ultras, they just keep on dying. +2 carapace with guidance plating. They just die. And with those Ultras disappearing against all these Marauders of Future on 4 bases now, obviously knowing what he's going up against, taking out the 4th of Vayne, it does not seem like we're going to get an absolutely perfect night at the office. It seems that this series is going to end with a 3-1 victory. A well-deserved victory, I must say, but surprise, man. These Ultras are, look at how quick they die. I'm shocked. Legit shocked how quick they die. Couple of Lings will get on top of the Marauders. The Marauders do have +2 attack at this point. There is obviously just so little supporting. It's like what normally makes Ultras god tier is that we have a bunch of Lings and Banes crashing in as well, or some spellcast support if it's just one Ultra leading the charge. But even then, I'm really surprised with how quickly they died and disappeared there. Guidance plating looked very underwhelming. GG gets gold. Congrats to the American Terran player Future. At least one win for the Americans tonight, guys. Future takes the 1-0 victory over Vanya, RotterdaM, Wayne. 3-2, 3-2, 3-1, and that is it. Did he transfuse? No, he barely had any queens. I think one time towards the end there at the bottom. But yeah. That will do it for this series, and that means that we've got one series left, and that's a big one. That's an exciting one. It is a big Gabriel versus Reynor, an all-Italian main event, guys. E grazie ragazzi, Madonna, tutti vero. Future wins. You guys thought he was the underdog, but can't say it wasn't deserved, guys. HeroMarine, the biggest of Gabes, the largest of Gabriels. HeroMarine versus Reynor, best of 5 main event. BBB number 84. Should be a really fun series. HeroMarine, JRT, Reynor, Ita Z, maybe T. But I assume Ita Z. Give you guys 50 minutes to get all your predictions in. I'll go find the gamers. I'll let them do their vetoes. And take a little look at when's the last time Gabe played an official match, guys? I never thought I would actually say this sentence, man, because Gabe was always everywhere. He was so freaking active. But wow. The last official games of Gabe were on the 27th of December. It's a long time. Gabe used to be the man that was everywhere all the time at once. Definitely surprising to see Gabe not having any official illegal leg entries in over a month and a bit. It's going to be a fun series, I hope. Gabe, I asked him last week already. He said, like, nah, I'm not good enough. But if you want me for the following week, I can play. And you can give me anyone. I don't care. So we waited a week, and here he is. HeroMarine against Reynor is coming up as the final series of the Friday evening.